Welcome, everyone. My name is Brooke. I'm the founder of the High Ticket Ecom Incubator, and today we are with Yuvy. Yuvy, do you want to introduce yourself? Just give the audience an idea where you're from.
Yeah, for sure. Hey everyone, my name's Yuvy. I'm 28 years old from Milton, Ontario, originally from Mauritius, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool, man. So, um, why High Ticket Ecom? So, why don't you tell me, like, where did you find my content? Why did you go with High Ticket Ecom? What about that appealed to you? And kind of, have you started any ecom businesses before, or was this the first ecom one?
Yeah, so I have. I tried to private label a couple of different low ticket e-com stores, clothing, like furniture and things like that. So that didn't work out. And then I came across your content through Twitter, and like straight away after going through the experiences that I did go through with low ticket, I
Yeah.
felt like this was like it felt more aligned as to what I wanted, and it just felt like the right decision for me.
It's more of an actual business. I did the low ticket stuff before too. It just seems like I don't even know how to describe it. It seems like you're just like it seems like you're at the casino, just like
Yeah, exactly. It's producing
throwing shit against the
content.
wall and hoping something works.
Yeah, it's just producing content and like crossing your fingers, hoping it takes off. It just didn't seem like you said, like a proper business structure to me as well.
Yeah. Yeah, high ticket's nice that you kind of get both. You get like an actual business, but it's not like you have to go buy $50,000 of inventory. Like
Yeah,
you can actually get started with a couple $1,000s, but it is that it does have that like real business feel to it. That's a lot
yeah,
different.
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
um, why don't you tell the audience you had a pretty cool thing happen last week? So why don't you just I'll leave it to you to explain what happened last week, the last couple
Yeah,
weeks.
yeah. So within about a week and a half, there were two sales that came in. The first sale was $77,000 from one order itself. No customer questions, no sales journey. I would have thought that I would have gotten a call about the product and things like that. Nothing, just a straight order. So that was really cool to see.
That's insane.
And then
That's
actually, yeah,
insane.
the cool thing is the next order for $21,000, it was from the same customer.
The same customer.
Yeah, for the same customer. Yeah.
How
And
far apart were they?
um like 6 days apart. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Have you spoken to him or her yet, or has it?
It was tough, only via email. I tried to get a hold of him through call just to thank him and kind of just get to know the customer a bit more, but no luck there. But we talked through email, and he seemed super excited to get the product, so that was pretty cool in itself.
Did you type his name in on Google? I assume if he's spent that much money, he's probably someone with a lot of money. Did you
Oh
find him?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, the reason why I typed him on Google is because I thought it was like I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like suspicious or anything like that. So I
Of
Googled
course.
the ship to address, and yeah, it's a nice house. It's a nice house.
A house that can spend $77,000 and
Yeah,
$21,000 without ever speaking to anyone. That's
yeah,
like that's what I was thinking when you told me like you got the order. I was like, wow, that's amazing. And I'm like, it's on Shopify. Like, did that mean he paid on a credit card? Like,
yeah, yeah. I wish he didn't because the Shopify processing fees just took a bit out of it. But either way, I'm not complaining. At the end of the day,
that's
um,
no, I wouldn't be either. Like
yeah,
the fact, like honestly, like any order that big that would actually be suspicious or a scam or something like that would probably try to do it via wire. Because if someone's
it's true.
scamming you, they don't have a credit card that they can put $100,000 on.
Yeah,
This guy, this
that.
guy, this guy clearly has a credit card that will just let him go purchase $77,000 items without any issue. Like it just goes right through. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that was a really cool experience. I tried to, but obviously, like there are some things that you say in your program where like it's a roller coaster. So not don't try and stay too attached to the highs. And I
Yeah.
had to really stay grounded after that. After obviously kind of being happy and stuff. But yeah,
Of course, like definitely take it as like a win and
yeah,
good progress, but like at the same time, like if I could if that happened to me like and now I can give myself advice, I would say like don't expect that to if that doesn't happen again next month, you're not doing anything wrong.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
you are going to get these insane wins that happen here and there. Like
yeah,
I've had some crazy ones like that too that are just like not that size, but like 25,000 order at like really high
yeah.
profit margin, and it's just like you'll get five, six, seven of those a year, like every couple of months. But you can't really like
Expect.
you can't really expect. But I guess if you're doing like what Cabrin does and like actively seeking these, maybe
Yeah,
you can expect a little bit
yeah,
more. But I don't think you're just going to see people log onto Shopify and purchase that kind of
yeah,
order often.
yeah.
Cool, man. So leading up to that, is this a supplier that was it the same supplier for both products?
No, two different suppliers.
Two different suppliers. Wow.
Yeah.
Was it, were these suppliers like ones that you had identified as like you thought they had potential, or did this come as a complete surprise for these?
Yeah, no, these were both two that I thought that they both had potential, and the reason was because so when the orders came in, I kind of backtracked. I was like, why did they decide to purchase through my website? And then I backtracked, and basically these two suppliers that I had reached out to, they only have a handful of dealers and resellers, and so I took the extra step to go on video call with both of them and built that relationship with both of them. So I had that foundation and I had that trust, and that really was one of the driving factors, in my opinion, as to why these two orders came through.
Does the supplier for either of them sell themselves, or do they only sell through dealers?
They both sell themselves as well. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So one of the contents that you posted in terms of how to position your offer and create a really attractive offer, I tried to do that to kind of stand out. So I guess that worked.
Yeah. And that's one thing, like a lot of people, there are a handful of suppliers in any niche that you can just send an email to and work with them.
Yeah.
But almost always those are going to be like the ones that everyone has, right? It's like you get those ones that you can really stand out with and have that advantage. It's there's a million ways to do it. You can go to trade shows, you can like try and message them on LinkedIn and get on a video call with the founder, but it's just that overall theme of really kind of going above and beyond. And doing what most people won't do. And that's exactly what's happened for you. Like not a lot of people would be comfortable going on video calls to build that relationship with the brand, but those are the exact things that actually pay off. So it's super cool to see.
Yeah, and actually for one of the brands, they had asked me for to be exclusive basically and not post any other brands. Yeah,
like I've had that too, where like I can say it because I'm not working with them now. But Clearlight Saunas, they said to me like, you can only sell our infrared saunas. Like I couldn't sell any other infrared saunas except theirs, and they were my best dealer. Like I sold over 2 mil of their saunas. So sometimes a high-end brand will want you to do that. Did you agree to it?
Yeah, I kind of did like a pros and cons type of comparison, and I thought it was worth the risk right now, and it's paying off so far. But obviously, I'm still kind of assessing it as we go along.
Yeah. Are there like, obviously we're not going to tell the product type. I don't even know what it is, but are there other brands in that product type that you like think that you could close and potentially do very well with that you now can't bring on because of this?
In terms of brands that are leaders in that niche, no. I did reach out to them and they weren't accepting any dealers, and also the margins, when I spoke to them, it wasn't quite up to standard for our requirements. And so right now, that's why I said it's a fair enough risk. It's an okay risk to take to be exclusive with this current brand as of now. So because there aren't that many leading brands compared to this brand, because this brand is one of the leaders in this category.
And can you see like how those sales came in? Like, are they attributed in your Google Ad account or Bing Ad account, or do you have any idea where they came from?
Yeah, Google Ads.
Was it low funnel?
Yeah, it was low funnel.
Of course it was low funnel. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So the ROAS is probably pretty high on that campaign.
Yeah, it is.
Good stuff, man. So sort of similar to the earlier question, I think we've hit on the important point that going above and beyond and like finding these suppliers that are a bit uncommon is a huge thing that you can do to have success. Yeah. And another part that I would say is being good at ads. What do you think, if you could say like one or two things, what do you think has led to your success? Is it, so obviously that's going on the video calls, closing these suppliers. Have you put a lot of time into learning ads, or do you think that your website's probably better than most? Like, what do you think that your advantage is there? Ads, website, one or the other?
Yeah, I think I've gotten a lot of compliments from dealers that I've reached out, not dealers, suppliers that I've reached out to in terms of my website that really sticks out. It's very well laid out, professional, branded really well, even some customers as well. And so I think that's something that I really took my time to get a hold of and to kind of optimize but also obviously the ads as well. Without the ads, those two orders wouldn't have come in either. So I know I remember the first week of, because I was brand new to Google Ads, the first week was really tough, but it's like I always say, it's a mental game more than anything, to be able
It
to kind
is.
of push through that first week or first couple of weeks of learning something new, and then once after that, it becomes a lot smoother of a process.
Google, did you, when you were doing your private label stuff before, did you do Facebook ads mainly?
Yeah, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram ads.
Yeah. I've used like Facebook and Instagram, but a little bit when I was doing low ticket. But
Yeah.
after I've spent obviously way more time on high ticket, but it seems to me like Google is kind of hard to get used to compared to those other ones, because there's like, it's almost like there's like 5 ad platforms in one. Like you have your
Yeah.
Google Shopping, you have your search text, you have your Performance Max, your display, and then it's not only are there 5 things going on, but knowing when to use each thing, because sometimes it makes sense to use one over the other, and it's just like, it's almost like a gut feeling, like almost always shopping low is the way to go. But like sometimes if there's no branded demand and you have like 50% margins, it's like, okay, maybe like PMAX is going to work here. But you just have, it's just like there, it's stuff you can't really put in a module or a course. It's almost just like you have to go in the game, learn it, and then you kind of just learn from experience. It's kind of like riding a bike. Like you can't really write a course on how to ride a bike. You can, but the person still has to eventually get on the bike and learn how to ride it themselves.
Exactly.
But it's the same thing with ads. Have you found, have you done mainly shopping, or have you tried some of the other ones?
Mainly shopping right now. I'm slowly getting into search text as well, and I completely agree with what you said. You have to add your own spin to it, add your own flair to it. To not only like, although you provide the blueprint in the incubator program and also with the free course that you provide, you have to be able to adapt to your own situation, your own circumstance, because every person is going to choose a different niche. They're going to have different mix and match of different suppliers, so it's not going to go exactly the same way as how your store and your journey went about. So it's about also applying that flair and also having that awareness to apply your
That's so
reasoning to the
important.
situation. Yeah.
That's so important. Is like, there's been a couple times even when people in the program have said like, I've done exactly like they'll have even something working, like a high campaign, and they'll say like, we'll say, oh no, like you should be doing low, and then they'll do low, and they'll be like, oh, like high was working before. I'm like, if it's working, do it. Like these are just kind of like, there's always going to be exceptions, like every
Yeah.
time. There's always going to be exceptions to the rule, and the biggest thing is you just want to do what works. Like I can tell you, like if there's 100 people in the program, whatever, I can say like, this is what I have found for the most part to be the best way to go. But that doesn't mean like that you just follow that blindly in every single situation. Like there's going to be times where like the opposite is true.
Yeah.
And that's I think the value of the program altogether. Because if you just buy a course, the free course, for example, like you don't have anyone to tell you when it might make sense to do something different. Like you can figure it out yourself, but I think the biggest thing is having like nuanced guidance where I can be like, oh, like for this product here, it actually might make sense to try this. So I think for you now, like you're doing well with shopping, like with search text, I think there's potential there, but I think you should do it very slowly. Like put search text. I'm not sure if you've watched through the new modules yet on School, but I would say put it in its own budget. So like let's say for a brand you have shopping shared budget of like $50 between high, medium, low. I would say just put search text in its own budget at like 5 to 10. So it's not good, because search text, the spend can get out of hand quickly. Like it could easily spend. It could, if you put it in the same budget, it could take up like 80% of it. Where if you put it in its own budget, 5 to 10, you're just like barring against things getting out of hand, because you don't want to mess with what's working already. You just want to like slowly introduce these other things that can work, but not too fast.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely have to take a look at the new modules. Yeah. So that's really helpful.
Cool. In terms of the store, what do you think your immediate next steps are? So let's say we're in June right now. What do you have planned for July, August, September? Are you planning on adding more brands, or do you have kind of a backlog of suppliers that you want to get on board and get some ads going for? What's your immediate next steps?
Yeah, basically that. We've been, in the past week, I've been onboarding a lot of different brands in a subcategory within the niche that I'm currently in. And so we're expanding basically horizontally within those niches. And we have a huge backlog of brands to upload onto our store.
Do you have an employee, or are you on your own?
Right now, I'm on my own. I'm in the process of developing an SOP to also hire someone to upload the products.
That's one thing. Even I've learned from coaching is I hired a VA early. Like I had a VA who is now my ops manager before I even made a sale, and she like uploaded all my products for me. But we ended up having success pretty early with like a really good brand. But like looking back now, I think that was probably risky depending on how much budget someone has. But I would say like taking a bit longer but doing it yourself and kind of getting everything down pat yourself, making those perfect SOPs, keeping your spend under control is probably the better option for a lot of people, unless they have that budget or like they're working a super busy job where they literally can't answer chats.
Yeah.
But I think if you have the time, like your approach is the best. Are you working a job as well, or?
Yeah, I work a government job, so there's really that work-life balance, so I'm able to kind
From
of
home?
work, yeah, from home, which is even
So
better.
you can be working and like answer a chat if it pops up, for example, or something like
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice. In longer term, what level would you want to hit kind of consistently? Like I know you had a big month last month profit wise. How many months would you want to see like consistently in a row until you stepped out of the job to go full time on the store? Or do you want it to just be kind of a side project?
No, definitely not a side project. So I definitely want to step out of the full-time job eventually. And to see it consistently, I would probably say half a year, so 6 months.
Makes sense.
5 or 6 months, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have consistent results for 6 months, then you probably feel safe doing it. Down the
Yeah.
line, would you ever want to sell the store, or do you think that you'll kind of just see yourself growing this for the foreseeable future?
Probably I'll see myself growing this for the foreseeable future, but I also, whether it's myself or maybe like I'll bring family members to create their own stores, help them as well. So there are some like assets running like between my family and maybe friends as well. And so for myself, probably run this store for the foreseeable future and then eventually sell it. And then obviously I have the skills now from your program to build more stores. So eventually kind of see where things go from there.
That's the thing, is it's great that I think high ticket is kind of the perfect first step for anyone who wants to get into ecom, because even if you have a huge budget, like let's say you have like $200,000 saved up and you're 40 years old and you want to get into ecom, you could conceivably start your own brand. You have the money to do so, but you don't have any skills. Like it's going to be very hard to have success. Where high ticket, you can go in without any skills. You don't have to blow a whole bunch of money to start, a couple $1,000s to get going. I would say safely. And then you can build the skills. And then if you sell the store, like you can build more stores, you can help people build stores, you can help family build stores. But then you actually have the skills and the capital to start your own brand or something if you want to. So it's just getting that like first step, getting those first skills built that opens up so many doors down the line. Because now you're in a position where like you have these skills that you'll probably in a year or so you'll have so many options to do kind of whatever you want, which is I think the real value of it.
Yeah, it's crazy looking back 6 months, basically 7 months when I started back in November. The skills that I've accumulated from this program, from your incubator as well, it's nuts. It happens so fast where you don't realize it, but just taking a step back, reflecting on that, it's crazy.
And your stress tolerance goes up as well. Like I imagine that it was probably pretty stressful seeing that 77,000 order, but I'm sure that you now handled it much better than you 7 months ago would have handled it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking potential chargebacks and everything like that, but like I tried to stay calm and kept cool and just work through it.
I remember my first order that I got, it was actually a very similar situation. So a guy went and ordered a sauna, but literally 10 minutes later he went back and ordered a massage chair. So it ended up being like close to 15,000, same guy, 2 different product types and 2 different suppliers. But I remember my hand was like shaking when I was looking at my phone. I'm like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Last question. So just if you could go back and give either yourself 7 months ago or someone considering getting into high ticket ecom advice on high ticket ecom overall and the incubator program, what advice would you have for them?
Yeah. Basically, know your purpose, know your why. I know it sounds cliche, but it's definitely helped me along this process, and be mentally prepared to put in the work and to not give up in any obstacle, because you are going to come across a lot of obstacles. So I think those 2 things, so basically it's mostly mental more than anything. Be prepared for that, or else you're just going to waste your own time. You're going to waste potential coaches' time and things like that. So be prepared to put in the work, and be prepared to just go through a lot of mental obstacles where you will overcome it if you just push through and follow the blueprint.
That's great advice. I think the reason people don't succeed is it's all mental. They get overwhelmed and they just stop. But you just have to take it in stride, use it as a learning experience, and eventually you will get there. It's just a matter of time. And if you don't, just we'll add one more. What is your why? If you feel comfortable sharing.
Mine's really simple. It's just being working on my own terms, being able to be financially free, and I think a lot of it is similar to you. I had a sports background growing up, a very competitive sports soccer player, and so I was always accustomed to winning, and like I really had that competitive edge in my childhood growing up, and so I want to apply that to whatever I do in life now that I'm not playing sports professionally or competitively or anything like that. So that's another why, is just that competitive willingness to win all the time and to kind of always grow. Because when I was young, I was growing, I was improving, and then when I stopped playing competitively, I just stagnated for a bit, that identity crisis, and then once I found my why in terms of where I can apply that that opportunity to grow again in high ticket ecom, then that's another why and another reason to push myself.
Yeah, business is almost like the ultimate sport in a way. Like I'm glad I played sports when I was younger. I think pretty much everyone should play sports when they're younger.
Yeah.
But eventually there comes a time, unless you're like Ronaldo or Sidney Crosby or something, that eventually it stops.
Yeah.
And it would really suck to be like 27, put all your life into the sport, and then have nothing. Where in business, you don't ever really have to retire. Like there's always another level. And like even me, like I'm just like a speck of sand compared to some people. Like some people are making like $50 million a day. Like there's just so many levels, and you never have to retire, that there's just it's that competitive drive where you're never really going to ever reach the top, and that's the joy of it. Anyway, that's what makes it fun. It's completely on your own terms, and you kind of dictate how far you take it, which is super cool.
Yeah, to basically enjoy the journey rather than the destination itself. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. I'll end the call now, but that was awesome, man.